Okay, Director Corbett, it's 6:40. Why don't you begin, please?
Okay, thank you all very much. Very happy to have you all here. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the East Bay Regional Park District Board of Directors and thank you all for participating in this evening's meeting to discuss the renovation of 2955 Peralta Oaks North project. My name is Ellen Corbett and I am the Director for Ward 4, the local district, which represents Alameda, Ashland, Castro Valley, Cherryland, Hayward, Oakland, San Leandro, and San Lorenzo. And I'm also very happy to be joined tonight by another director, Dee Rosario from District 2, right next door. Hi, Dee. We are joined by Acting Assistant General Manager Lisa Gorgian, Assistant General Manager for Public Safety and Chief of Police Anthony Cherborough, Fire Chief Eileen Tiley, and Project Manager Toby Perry, who will be sharing project details with you this evening. At the Park District, we are proud to have a team of public safety professionals working daily in our parks to keep our community safe, including police officers, firefighters, lifeguards, and a volunteer safety patrol. In recent years, the growth of the district has called an updated public safety headquarters. The current facilities needs will be met as we address the communities and the district's public safety needs. In 2019, the district purchased the empty office building across from our existing administrative headquarters on Peralta Oaks Court, here in the neighborhood of East Oakland. In addition, the updated public safety facilities, Peralta Oaks North, will include a renovated boardroom for public meetings and discussions, an expanded reservations area for reserving the perfect weekend campsite, and additional public areas for gathering. The building is being designed to be certified LEED Gold rated building, centering sustainability in its design. With that, we are so excited to welcome you, our neighbors, today to join in this presentation and look forward to any questions you may have. Additionally, we will also be hosting an in-person presentation and a chance to see the existing building before construction begins, and that will be this Saturday, November 19th, starting at 10 a.m. And with that, I'd like to turn this over to Lisa Gorgian, the Acting Assistant General Manager, for an overview of the building renovation. So happy to have you all here this evening.
Thank you, Director Corbett. So again, Lisa Gorgian, Acting Assistant General Manager of Acquisition, Stewardship, and Development, and I'll be your MC for the evening and for the meeting. Before we begin, I wanted to take a moment to go over the meeting agenda, our schedule for this evening, and a few housekeeping items. So tonight, first we'll hear from our public safety staff, who Director Corbett introduced, and learn more about what they do and who they are. And then we'll hear from Project Manager Toby Perry to review the building renovation program. And then we'll round out the evening with time for questions. I did want to let you know that we are recording this evening's meeting. We'll be posting it on our website and on our YouTube channel. So if you want to share with your neighbors to watch it at a later date, it will be available. The intent of this Zoom meeting tonight is to inform our immediate neighbors about this project. This isn't the only chance that we'll have to learn about the project, or you'll have to learn about the project. As Director Corbett said, we'll also have an open house this Saturday, and we've added this project to our district webpage. It has a project page on it with information about the project, and there is a form that you can fill out to be notified and informed about project updates as we move forward. So really, we want to be available to the community, to the neighbors, to answer any questions and be responsive throughout this project. You also may be asking, who do we tell about this meeting? And so we did want to share that the Park District really wanted to do something special for our neighbors. And we, to do that, we mailed a postcard notification about this meeting and the meeting on Saturday to about 325 of our neighbors. And we posted an announcement about these meetings on 2 different neighborhood groups on Nextdoor. So we're so happy that you're here this evening. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Chirabura and Chief Tiley.
Thanks, Lisa. Good evening. Can you hear me? Yes, I'll see the nods. Thank you. My name is Anthony Chabot. I'm the Chief of Police of the East Bay Regional Park District Police Department. I'm here with my partner tonight, Chief Eileen Tiley. And I also have another role as the Assistant General Manager of Public Safety, and I represent public safety on the executive team as I am a direct report to General Manager Sabrina Landreth. This is an exciting night for us. This is an exciting project for us to continue along with what Lisa is talking about. We're excited about getting back to our roots, the roots of the Park District, really in the Oakland and Berkeley area. We're excited about getting closer to our co-workers. That's something that we think is extremely important to us as it matches our mission. Invaluable are those relationships and those conversations that we can have, whether it's in the lunchroom or the parking lot. And for us, that our work is so meaningful that we can do this together and have that synergy with our fellow employees. You may have wondered, as you've heard tonight, well, why the move? And that's really because of who we are and our needs. And we are currently in a 1950s Nike missile base. That's where I am right now. This is where the personnel were housed during the Cold War. And as we grow into a mid-sized to large police department, our needs are really exceeding what we have here at Lake Chabot. We love Lake Chabot. We love the park. We just do not have the space nor the infrastructure to accommodate who we are. And who we are is a 75 officer police department. We also have a full-time communication center with 20 dispatchers and call takers who not only dispatch for Park District personnel, but also police officers and firefighters. We've also have an additional 20 support personnel here who are in the building, and that encompasses a variety of needs, including property and evidence. So as we've gotten bigger, we're literally outgrowing this facility here. We also have a variety of specialties and different things we do, which are unique to a special district police department. I will always send a recruiting message out for us. We'd like you to come join us. We'd like you to come join the Park District if that's something you're thinking about. We have detectives and we have a mounted patrol, and the horses, they will be here Saturday. So if you're driving down the street and you see a couple horses, don't be alarmed. That's our mounted unit. We have a marine patrol with capabilities not only in freshwater, but on San Francisco Bay. And of course, we're on motorcycles and mountain bikes. We're also very proud of our air support unit, which is housed at the Hayward Airport. We not only fulfill a law enforcement function, but also firefighting as well. I think the best way to sum up who we are, who your potential or who your new neighbors will be, really comes down to our values. And number one is absolutely is safety. And we want not only we want everyone in the parks to be safe, whether it's a coworker or whether it's you as our client and customers. And it really is a team approach. It's not only law enforcement, it's fire. It's all the people you see here who design trails and bridges and roads. We absolutely want you to be safe, and that's paramount to us. We also are committed to service, and you are our clients and customers. We are in the park business. When people ask me what I do, I say I'm in the park business, and my goal is to make sure, our goal is to make sure that you are enjoying the parks, that when you leave, you make a decision to come back. We want you as a return customer, and that you tell someone else to come to the Park District. This is most meaningful work, and it's very important to us that you come back and that you tell other people to enjoy the parks. Part of that, as a police department, we certainly undertake investigations. We certainly want to make sure that we meet our obligations as a professional police department, as a police department that undertakes the business of policing in the most professional fashion. And then finally, I want to finish with our last value, which encompasses everything we do, and that is stewardship. And we believe with the utmost conviction that our role is to preserve these wonderful lands for today, tomorrow, and the 22nd century and beyond. And if I were here, and as I look around the Zoom screen, but I don't see anyone who perhaps will be here in the 22nd century, but it's not uncommon that I will see children when I do an oath of office ceremony or when I'm in the parks, and they are here. Our clients of the 22nd century are already here, which underscores for us the purpose and the priority of preservation. Again, thank you for joining us tonight, and we really look forward to being a partner and a neighbor, and also someone who provides excellent park service to you.
And I think that leads it to me. My name's Eileen Tiley. I'm the fire chief of East Bay Regional Park District, and I'm the other half of public safety, covering the fire department and also lifeguard services. It's interesting to note that we actually have a long history with the City of Oakland. In fact, after the Oakland Tunnel Fire in 1991, the City of Oakland and East Bay Regional Park District were founding members of the Hills Emergency Forum, where we collaborate in that particular consortium on a monthly basis. So glad to be back in Oakland with our office, and just to be good neighbors. As one of the largest landowners, the Park District, and specifically the fire department, interacts with 33 different communities across Alameda and Contra Costa County, and also 20 different fire departments. So being a good neighbor is something we've done for a long time, and we continue to do. A little bit about the fire department. The fire department has grown along with the Park District. There's three major facets of the fire department. One is lifeguard services and EMS. And lifeguards, there's 7 permanent staff, but we swell during summer focus, adding about 160 to 180 seasonal lifeguards. They will not be at Peralta Oaks North, but they will be kind of cast across both counties. We have 7 lakes, 2 shorelines, 3 lagoons, and a pool. So we do need to grow with seasonal employees to meet those needs, serving the public with recreation, and water safety. The other part of the fire department is obviously fire operations. And our neighbors here around Peralta Oaks may have seen us a couple of times up in the Oakland streets, right up behind Peralta. And that is because we are readily available and do get contacted by Oakland Fire on a regular basis to jump on small fires up in the neighborhoods to keep them small. And so if you didn't know we existed and you didn't see us there, you may see us more frequently, which is an opportunity that we welcome. We are an all-risk department, and what that means is that we do everything a normal fire department would do, but we're a little special, in my opinion, and that is that we are uniquely qualified and certified, frankly, to be wildland firefighters and fight fire directly in the wildland urban interface, which is where this building is going to be. And so all of our equipment is highly specialized. And just like the police department, we've had to become specialized because of the area that we serve, not just the Oakland and Berkeley Hills, but we've got all the hillsides, or all the ridge, kind of the spine we call it, all the way from Point Pinole up in the north down to city of Fremont. So we have a lot of areas that we patrol. We have a lot of areas we do fuel maintenance in, and that is the third, fuels management is the third aspect of the fire department. And fuels management, we're not talking about gasoline or diesel or anything like that. We're talking about trees and vegetation as fuel to burn. The Park District has been upfront with all of the fires across California. We do fight fire along with OES and CAL FIRE. We are a major player in a lot of the larger campaign fires, but we also put the majority of our effort into keeping fires small at home, and really digging into the areas that we manage from a stewardship perspective. In all of that wildland area, we manage the fuels so that when a fire occurs, because it's not if, it's when, our forests and our wildland areas will survive it. And not only will it survive, they survive it, but we will have a much better opportunity to contain the fire with all of our neighboring fire departments. So we have spent a long time and a lot of money as a park district doing fuels maintenance work. If you hike in any one of our parks, especially the ones in the Oakland and Berkeley Hills, you may have seen our signs out. You may have seen our fuel reduction coordinators or our firefighters out burning piles, working with contractors, falling trees. And all of that is in an effort to really keep our forests in the best shape that they can be to better survive not only wildland fires, but climate change and the drought that has directly affected our trees. We do have over 1,500 acres of dead and dying trees that we are already working to remove. And we don't do that in a vacuum. We do a lot of collaboration. I talked about being good neighbors. It's not just with our neighbors in the general area of the neighborhood that the Park District will have its administrative offices in, but also places like UC Berkeley, UC Davis, HEF, Hills Emergency Forum that I mentioned earlier, Diablo Fire Safe Council. We are deeply entrenched in the fire service and in the stewardship of the lands that we serve. And with that, I think I'm going to throw it back to Lisa.
Thank you so much. I was just got a chat from Jocelyn, so I got a little distracted. Thank you, Jocelyn. Thank you. So that was great. I'm always so impressed by learning about learning always more from what public safety does. And I work here, so you guys are incredible. So with that, I'll turn it over to Toby, the project manager for this, to go over the building renovation.
Yeah, thanks, Lisa. And thanks, AGM Chabot and Chief Chabot, one of the same, and Chief Tiley. I think you guys have done a great job of really setting the stage for why this is such an important project for us as a district, and why this renovation is so critical, why the building purchase and the renovation is so critical for us. So let me go about sharing my screen here. All right, and let me introduce myself. I'm Toby Perry. I'm the project manager in design and construction, managing this building renovation project, which we refer to here at the district as the Improve Peralta Oaks North Project, or IPON. And that Peralta Oaks North moniker is just to distinguish it from the other building that the district has, and it serves as our administrative headquarters across the street. So here on this slide, you can see a rendering of how this building will look when it's finished as you approach the building from the street. And the focus here is really to make the building as welcoming to the public as we can when they arrive. So I don't want to get too much into it, as Chief Chabot really indicated. The existing public safety facility here at as you can see in the image at Lake Chabot, it really is, it's insufficient in its space for the current size of our team. It doesn't meet code requirements for essential services facility, and it's really an old building that's beyond its useful life. When the district had been engaged in a multi-year, quite a lengthy search for a new space for public safety. When in 2019, the office building across the street from our current office, as I said, became available for purchase. So the district purchased it really so it could have a centralized headquarters campus. Having public safety close to the administrative headquarters of the district provides us with much better coordination and communication across departments. So here outlined in the red is the location of our new building. And just below it here in the image is our existing Peralta Oaks headquarters building right here. This image, you can see just how close our two buildings are to one another. This photo was taken from the balcony of the new building looking back towards our existing facility. And as part of this project, we're actually going to be developing a path between the two buildings. Since the building was purchased in 2019, we've been working on the design for the renovation. We started by identifying a building program. This program identified at a high level who and what was going into this building. And in keeping with our environmental ethic, we determined that this building would be built to LEED Gold standards. We also identified that this building would become the public facing building for the district, and as such would include a new boardroom. Following the development of the building program, we moved into conceptual and schematic design. More specifically, which staff and departments would go on which floors and how much square footage of space would go to each function. We met individually with board members and internal stakeholders to design the boardroom and lobby. And we determined what other non-public safety staff would move into this building. Then most recently, we completed design development, and we've now moved into developing construction documents, or what you may know as blueprints for the project. On this slide here, I'd like to share with you some of the considerations we've made as we've developed our plans for this renovation. First, sustainability, as I just mentioned, is one of the core values of the district's mission, and we apply it to everything we do. And as I just mentioned, we've committed to making this a LEED Gold building. So to that end, we'll be incorporating enough solar panels to offset our energy use for this building and adding EV chargers for our fleet vehicles, as well as for the public. We'll retrofit the windows to be insulated and convert lighting to be LED, and we'll also be installing a new energy efficient HVAC system. Regarding access, we'll be adding code compliant ADA parking and new ADA and pedestrian access to the front of the building. As I mentioned, we'll be developing a new path between the two buildings, and within the building, we'll be replacing the aging elevators. With this new building, we decided to take advantage of the opportunity to design and develop a new boardroom that will provide easier access to the public and can accommodate a higher capacity if needed. It will also include improved technology to meet our needs for a meeting space that works for both in-person participants as well as virtual ones. And then lastly, with respect to safety, and because this is an essential services building, we'll be making significant code required seismic upgrades. We'll also be adding fire resistant cladding to the exterior of the building. We'll be adding 2 new emergency vehicle entrances and exits to the site, one connecting to Broadmoor View and one to Sheldon Street. These will be gated and used only during emergencies when the main entrance is inaccessible. Again, because this building is an essential services building, we'll be including a new backup generator should the site lose power. Because the new emergency exits and the generator will have to, because those are there, we'll have to remove some existing trees throughout the site. And because this is a secure public safety facility, there will be new fencing and gates along the back and sides of the property. So I'll quickly walk you through the spaces that we've designed for this building. The building is made up of approximately 100,000 square feet, of which 65,000 square feet is kind of occupiable space if you take out the internal parking lots. In front of you is the basement floor, and the dark blue represents space that will be utilized by Public Safety Division. So you can see on this floor that the space is kind of split between parking and some public safety space. Moving up here to the first floor of the building, as I mentioned, this is going to be the new public facing building of the district. So the first floor is where the public will enter the building. You'll first enter into a large atrium lobby where you'll be greeted and directed by our reception staff. The light blue space is where our new boardroom and community meeting rooms will be. And the gray areas are spaces for our administrative staff. We'll also move our reservations department into this building. So so for those looking for a picnic or camping reservation, this is where you'll head. So I also just wanted to point out as I flip through these floors, there's some other colors here that are largely support spaces and circulation. So just wanted to make note of that. Moving up to the next floor, the second floor. You can see from the predominance of dark blue that this second floor is a floor that will be largely occupied by public safety. And then here on the third floor, similarly, again, it's a lot of dark blue, which is public safety space. In front of you here is the kind of high level timeline for this project. As I mentioned, we're hard at work on the construction documents and anticipate submitting a 50% set of plans to the city of Oakland before the end of the month for permitting. We'll go out to bid on the project next year and hope to award a construction contract by the end of the year. We anticipate construction starting in 2024 and lasting approximately 18 months. So we expect to move in sometime in 2025 and open to the public. I think most of you are probably here because you received a postcard, and I'd like to make the pitch for you to join us on Saturday morning at the project site. We'll have the atrium lobby open so you can go inside and take a look around and see what it looks like before the renovation. We'd love to meet you in person, and we'll have plenty of staff to answer your questions. We'll also have, as the chief mentioned, there'll be food and a fire truck, and our public safety horses, our mounted patrol, will be there as well. So that's Saturday morning. Before I open it up to any questions, our architects have provided us with some virtual renderings that will allow me to give you a good sense for what the interior lobby and boardroom will look like when the building opens. So I'm going to take down, let's see, I'm going to have to switch screens here. So I'm going to stop my sharing and share another screen. And as I kind of show you the room, I'll do my best not to make you dizzy. So bear with me for just a moment. All right, I'm going to reshare my screen here. Can everybody see that there? Great. Okay, so we're now standing several feet into the new lobby of our building, and you're looking straight ahead into our future boardroom. As I pan to the right, you'll see the new reception space. This is where we'll have two of our reception team members there, ready to greet you as you come in through those double doors. I will point out that this building, this lobby, is being designed such this entire wall of windows can be entirely opened. This is unconditioned space, and therefore the anticipation is that we can actually open the whole area, and most of the time that's really our intention, is to create a really welcoming, open environment. Scrolling back here to the center, that's the boardroom, and then off to the left, well, I should actually point out we have a wonderful tree that's been in this building for many years, and we're going to preserve that tree in its place. Right now in this location from where I'm panning, it's a little hard to see, and I'll show you a better view, but off here to the side is where our reservations will be. So I'm going to again stop the share and give you one more view of the new boardroom. Okay, so now we are right here in the boardroom, and we've divided, as I mentioned, we are focused on making sure that technologically this is an upgrade from our existing facility, and it will really be integrated such that it will work both virtually and in person. I'll kind of spin around this. I don't know if you noticed in that. Well, I think you could see from the first view that showed what our boardroom would look like. These, much like the front doors, this whole back wall of the boardroom is intended to be openable. So for certain purposes, we can have that room, this room open to the lobby. But for the most part, for board meetings, we will have this wall closed. The public will be able to enter through one of these two doors here and will attend our meetings. One of the other nice features of this new space for both for the district and our board meetings, but for the community at large is really having a nice potential for a nice large meeting space. Across these, this wall here, this wall partition will open as well. And there's an additional meeting space on the other side. So the district could have two meetings running simultaneously. We could have one meeting space that's really quite large, much larger than any meeting space we currently have. And you know, potential to be utilized by the community if needed. And then I'll just add that adjacent room is also going to be the district's new emergency operations center when there is an emergency. So hopefully with these two renderings, it gives you all a little bit better of a sense for kind of what this space will look like when complete. So with that, I'm going to stop my sharing and you know, take the time to answer any questions if there are any.
And I think Jocelyn, if you want to turn on your screen and ask, I think when we have really big meetings, we usually use the chat, but I think for tonight, it seems appropriate that we can have it, just have you ask if you have any questions.
Thank you. I do. The first question is, so what kind of access will the community have to essential services through the services that will be provided? The reason why I'm asking is because I think about some circumstances that we've had like over the summer. Like we have a lot of fires that take place. So this probably is directed towards Chief Aileen. Am I saying your name right? I don't want to.
Close enough. It's Eileen Kiley.
Eileen. Forgive me, Chief.
My parents did that on purpose, I'm convinced.
So this is probably more directed towards you, but one of the communities that I mentioned to Lisa was the Sheffield Village community, in which they're nearby, and they had a fire in the hills over the summer. And so just wanting to know what kind of access they will have moving forward. There was a bit of a disconnect for that community. So if you're not connected with that community, I'd love to get you connected there. So just really want to know about the access. You know, there are a lot of communities in that area, the Malcolm community, Sheffield Village community. So just wondering about that specifically.
Well, actually, we were at that fire. We were called in a mutual aid by Oakland Fire Department.
Okay.
And we did respond with one overhead that's an officer, and then one of our type 3s. So we, as far as being connected for emergency services, we're already connected. As far as getting to know the members of the neighborhoods better, we certainly want to do that. And it would be great. We are very good at coming into our communities as a fire department. Everybody loves to see the fire department. Sorry, boss. But you know, people generally come to us. We have things that we can hand out for the kids. You know, how to stay safe, fire-wise, coloring books, things like that. Little plastic fire helmets. And so we're good at reaching out. And just getting to know the people that are around us. But anything you could do to help that, or anything that you could do to facilitate that, please reach out to me, or I can reach out to you since you gave us your information. And I would love to do that.
Absolutely. I would love to do that as well. So I'm happy to support you in that way. Additionally, the other question, I believe, I don't want to butcher people's names, so please forgive me. Chief Chabot.
Chabot.
Okay. I'm going to get it right because we're going to be great friends after this. I did want to ask, you mentioned that you currently have 75 police personnel. So are you looking to, I think you may have, I just want clarity, are you looking to increase that number as you all shift over into the new building? Are you experiencing any type of issues with vacancies with addressing some of the matters throughout the district? And we have, I'll just say just for District 7, I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I just think that there will be a lot more attention that is focused in that district. So just wondering what your ideas are, or if you all have thought about, what the care would look like or what the servicing would look like as you transition into the new building. So will you need new personnel? What are your vacancies right now, if any?
Thank you. So we're authorized at 75 and our vacancies are about 10 right now. I'd have to give you exact numbers on that. So I think it'd be, as Chief Tyler said, great for us to communicate, and I could certainly work on more exacting numbers. They're actually changing, fortunately for us, probably every 3 or 4 weeks they change as we hire more people. I know you're well aware that we are in a hiring crisis nationwide with law enforcement. It's extremely difficult to hire people. And that would be the answer in terms of hiring. So we're down people. That is not uncommon. I just came from a chief's meeting in Contra Costa County because we do cover 2 counties. And this is really, unfortunately, it's something that's going on throughout the profession. And then what was your other question? Did it have to do with the building, or?
I'm so sorry. So I probably didn't phrase it correctly. So do you foresee any issues or impacts on services due to those vacancies?
Well, we're experiencing those now.
Okay.
And that means more overtime. That means trying to do the best we can. We strongly believe that when we're policing an area like it is behind me, this much area here on the map, that we've got to be as precise as possible. And when we're precise as possible, that means we want to be as effective and efficient as we can. That means we put our officers in the right place at the right time. And that much of that information comes from our fellow park workers. It comes from our patrons regarding what is happening. And then also we do much work in terms of crime prevention. We can't be everywhere. So especially with, for example, auto burglaries, we really believe strongly in signage and getting signs out there and educating our patrons. It's continuous. It's a continuous inoculation just in terms of the basic tenets of crime prevention.
And as it relates to so another service that I was wondering about that has come up recently. So we're starting to see, more individuals who are taking residence like in our parks and different things like that. So what are your plans to engage particularly in those areas? Actually, that surrounding area, we see that a lot, like up in the hills, particularly along trails and different things like that. So how is East Bay Regional Parks, the district, planning to engage with those individuals if you haven't already?
So we rely heavily on our park operations staff, and I may have one officer patrolling half of Contra Costa County, but I've got park operations staff in each one of those parks, and they alert us if they see someone camping in the parks. And of course, there's 3 rules to that. Someone needs a place to go. Before we ask them to leave, we certainly want to make sure that we give them 72 hours notice. I know you're aware of that. That's a best business practice. And then we certainly do not throw any personal items. So we treat that in the most compassionate and professional manner we can. We also use a team approach. We were down today with the city of Oakland. I think we were with 10 members of the city of Oakland conducting some work near Martin Luther King, near our MLK shoreline, our park, right near near Hagenberger. So we do work with adjacent jurisdictions. That's really important to us, that partnership is, and as I think Chief Tiley said it, 33 cities. So we have become, by the nature of our work as regional policing, we rely heavily on partnerships. We just cannot do it alone.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I won't take up too much of your time. Thank you.
You're most welcome. And then I can get your information and we can chat more. Love to talk to you some more. Thank you.
Well, I think, I'm not sure that we have, are there any other questions? Director Rosario?
Yeah, it's regarding the is there any opportunity to get some kind of windows to the outside? That's one of the beauties of our current boardroom, is that we have that back window that opens to the outside. And I know I'm not alone, and we really like that that openness.
Yeah.
So if there's any opportunities for some kind of either your windows or
Yeah, hi, Director. I'm happy to
something that
respond.
connects us to the outside.
Yeah, I'd be happy to respond to that. Yeah, in that kind of the virtual spin around the boardroom that I gave you there, when I panned to the left, there was a wall of blue, that blue wall that I said could open. Well, on the far side of that room is a whole wall of west-facing windows that we feel would be really nice. One of the considerations with design was that often our board meetings, especially in the wintertime, the sun is going to be setting out of those windows. So we were a little nervous about designing the boardroom in an orientation such that either the public or the board members were staring directly into it. But that said, we really do value the windows, and we heard that input from the directors. And so the kind of the real advantage to this setup is that it's there, it's peripheral, and when we imagine having we imagine having that wall open under most scenarios, such that that light can come in, and we've designed it acoustically such that the room will not suffer in any way when that wall is open. The performance of the room from an audio visual standpoint will be just as good with the wall open as it will with it closed. So the intention really is to have that wall open whenever possible.
Great, thank you. Oh, for Chief Tiley, will this operate like Chabot as a station, like Station 10? Will there be an engine staff there or stage there, or will we continue to?
You may see an engine there occasionally for meetings and to come and check in, but this is primarily going to be for the command staff and support staff. We are keeping Station 10, however, and I do have plans for that would definitely need your and Director Corbett's support, so we can talk about that some other time.
Yeah, very interested in that, because I think presence there, continued presence there is really and very important, just because of the proximity of the open space and the homes there.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, well, I think, Director Corbett, do you have any closing remarks, or otherwise?
Well, I'd like to remind people that they have another opportunity to come and take a look at what we're up to and suggestions they'd like to make by coming to the district's main offices this Saturday coming up. We'd love to hear more words from you. This film will be online as well, so if people want to learn more about what we're up to, they can find that as well. And we certainly appreciate everybody's interest, and we really welcome the neighbors who invited for our meetings and our input, and especially Jocelyn, thank you so much for being here and asking those great questions that we can answer. So pass the word to neighbors about our strong interest in hearing their thoughts and what they would like to see and what we can do to do great things for them. And thank you to all of the staff that presented. And as you can see by these presentations, we have a lot of important things that will be going on over the next year and a half, or maybe 2. So thank you all for your great work in putting this together. We're quite excited about this new facility that will really be supportive of our surrounding communities. Thank you so much. Please tell your boss too, Jocelyn, that we very much appreciate her support as well.
Thank you. I certainly will. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
And Director Rosario, so happy to have you here tonight as well. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
So hopefully we'll see you Saturday.
Okay, well, I think with that, we'll conclude the meeting. And again, there is this project is on our website, and we look forward to continuing the conversation. So thank you.